Hi,
This is Kim,
this is Andy.
and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book,
But first,
365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean.
today we're going to hear from Tecumseh, who said, "Abuse no one and no living thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home." Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
Tecumseh, 1768 to 1813.
Shawnee. Shawnee.
Okay. And then we also have,
The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. This is translation by Derek Lin. Okay, now here we've got a little more explanation here, clarification according to Mr. Lin about what each line means here. Um, okay, so I'm going to read the line, or Andy, read the line, and then I'll read this interpretation of that. So you read this one.
the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao.
Okay, Mr. Lin says the first line of the Tao Te Ching can be one of the most confusing. Some have interpreted it to mean that we must never speak of the Tao, or that if we try to explain it, then we must have no true understanding of it. What it actually means is that we can never understand the Tao through intellect alone. We must feel it. Talking about it can be useful, but will never replace the actual experience of living it.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
The name that can be named is not the eternal name.
Not only is the Tao beyond the power of spoken words to describe, but it is also beyond the power of written words to define. That which can be defined is limited by the definition, and the Tao transcends all limitations.
The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth.
Before the universe came into being, concepts and things did not exist, and no human consciousness was present to perceive and name them. Therefore, the Tao that initiated creation was the ultimate nameless enigma.
The named is the mother of myriad things.
Once the universe came into being, the stage was set for the physical manifestation of everything, including human beings. These humans eventually attained sufficient awareness to observe all things and name them.
Thus, constantly without desire, one observes its essence.
Keep going.
Constantly with desire, one observes its manifestations.
Okay, so self serving desires tend to limit us to a superficial level. If we think of other people and not just focus on ourselves, we will find it much easier to connect with the underlying reality. This applies to every aspect of life. It is one of the most powerful teachings of the Tao, right? So don't put things and experiences and people especially into little cubby holes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't put them into this niche that I can use you for, or you know what I mean, I want to but try to understand this thing or being as it is without bless you, without this desire. I wonder if I could what I could do with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These two emerge together but differ in name. The unity is said to be the mystery of mysteries, the door to all wonders.
The two refer to manifestations, outer appearance, and essence, inner truth. They represent the material world and the spiritual realm, respectively. Both emerge from the Tao because the Tao encompasses all, not only spirituality, but also the physical universe. The basic unity of the two is the mystery that we investigate in Tao cultivation.
Mhm.
Okay, so how um, the these things opposites emerge spontaneously, right? But in because you can't have something that exists without its being perceived, right?
Mhm.
Does that kind of make sense?
Mhm.
So the two refer to manifestations, the inner and the outer.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
Unity of these things is the mystery. That's where the Holy Spirit is, in the unity of all these things,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
In the unity of the Father and the Son,
Mhm.
or in the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
We are on to the Urantia book, paper 43, section 2, the Constellation Government.
The Constellation Government. Yeah.
Could you give me a Kleenex here really quick?
Yes, of course, my dear.
All right, I'll start this. The constellations are the autonomous units of a local universe, each constellation being administered according to its own legislative enactments. The courts of Nebadon sit in judgment on universe affairs. All internal matters are adjudicated in accordance with the laws prevailing in the constellation concerned. These judicial decrees of Selvington, together with the legislative enactments of the constellations, are executed by the administrators of the local systems. Constellations thus function as the legislative or lawmaking units, while the local systems serve as the executive or enforcement units. The Selvington government is the supreme judicial and coordinating authority.
Okay. So
While
that's our Salvington is the universe, Nebadon capital.
Mhm.
Yeah. Jerusalem is the system capital,
Hmm.
and Edentia is the constellation capital.
You know these things.
Well, I just memorized things.
While the supreme judicial function rests with the central administration of a local universe, there are two subsidiary but major tribunals at the headquarters of each constellation: the Melchizedek Council and the Court of the Most High. All judicial problems are first reviewed by the Council of the Melchizedeks. 12 of this order, who have had certain requisite experience on the evolutionary planets and on the system headquarters worlds, are empowered to review evidence, digest pleas, and formulate provisional verdicts, which are passed on to the Court of the Most High, the reigning constellation father. The mortal division of this latter tribunal consists of 7 judges, all of whom are ascendant mortals.
Hmm.
The higher you ascend in the universe, the more certain you are to be judged by those of your own kind. I'm going to let you continue.
Okay. Okay. The constellation legislative body is divided into 3 groups. The legislative program of a constellation originates in the lower House of Ascenders, a group presided over by a finaliter and consisting of 1,000 representative mortals.
Hmm.
That must be the people's house,
I guess.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Each system nominates 10 members to sit on this deliberative assembly. On Edentia, this body is not fully recruited at the present time, because there's some planets that are still evolving and stuff, and they still need more people. That's interesting. Okay, the mid-chamber of legislators is composed of the seraphic hosts and their associates, other children of the local universe mother spirit. This group numbers 100 and is nominated by the supervising personalities who preside over the various activities of such beings as they function within the constellation. The advisory or highest body of constellation legislators consists of the House of Peers, the House of the Divine Sons.
Wow. So it's a tricameral
Legislature in the Constellation Government.
That's interesting. I've never encountered that. Tricameral.
Mm-hmm. This corps is chosen by the Most High Fathers and numbers 10. Only sons of special experience may serve in this upper house. This is the fact-finding and time-saving group which very effectively serves both of the lower divisions of the Legislative Assembly. Okay, so there's 1,000 representative mortals in the lowest house, and then there's 100 more in this mid-chamber, or like angelic house, and then there's 10 in this advisory body, highest body. Okay. The combined council of legislators consists of 3 members from each of these separate branches of the constellation deliberative assembly, and is presided over by the reigning junior most high. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The junior most high. Okay. Okay. This group sanctions the final form of all enactments and authorizes their promulgation by the broadcasters. So this is the combined council of legislators. Okay. Okay, what is the junior? Okay. 3 members from each of these legislative branches of the Constellation Deliberative Assembly. Oh, three members of each. Okay, so they were talking about the Supreme Branch and the Administrative Branch also, right? Constellations are the autonomous units of a local universe, each constellation being administered according to its own legislative enactments.
Combined Council of Legislators consists of 3 members of each of these separate branches.
Right.
Presided over by the reigning junior most high.
The reigning junior most high. Okay, so the reigning junior must be like one of the younger constellation fathers or something, because constellation fathers are the most high.
Okay.
Okay. This group sanctions the final form of all enactments and authorizes their promulgation by the broadcasters. The approval of this Supreme Commission renders legislative enactments the law of the realm. Their acts are final. The legislative pronouncements of Urantia constitute the fundamental law of all Nerlashadak.
Okay.
So that's how laws are made in the constellation. Okay, so from what I'm understanding here, so there's each of these separate branches, 3 members from each of the separate branches. So the legislative branch,
I took it to be the 3.
I don't think so. I was thinking of that because it's talking about branches from each of these separate branches of the Constellation Deliberative Assembly.
I read it. It's the 3, the lower, the middle, and the upper.
But I'm thinking it's probably
Assembly.
this part of this judicial. The headquarters of each constellation, the Melchizedek Council, and the Court of the Most High. So there's a Melchizedek Council, the Court of the Most High, and then this legislative body. That's okay.
The combined council of legislators consists of 3 members from each of these separate branches of the constellation deliberative assembly.
Oh, so maybe okay,
I think
because
it's-
it's legislators, this combined council of legislators.
Mhm.
Why is they only 3 though? We have all these 3, so that must be a
kind of a ruling body.
9 of them.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Constellation Government.
All right, okay. Well, we'll leave it there. You know what? Probably you're right. Probably you're right, because this is judicial problems. There's 2 judicial. All judicial problems are first reviewed by the Council of Melchizedek, and then they're taken to the Court of the Most High.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to leave it there today?
We'll leave it there today.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll talk about the Most Highs of Melchizedek.
We will.
Okay?
Okay.
Ready.
All right.
Have a good night.
Night.